Okay, guys, hold on. I just gotta grab some real quick. Hey, guys, hold on one moment, real quick. Alright, guys, so we are live. So, what's up, guys? It's Mr. T coming at you live from NYC. Welcome back to Convos, our podcast over here at Tim Talks. And hey, guys, welcome back to another live stream. Now, I know what you're thinking that, yeah, I didn't plan any of this, and I do apologize as well for that because I just got down to watching the new Nintendo Direct, and also, before I begin, I just wanted to say, guys, I'm so sorry if the audio quality is kind of shiz at the moment, and that's because I wasn't able to get the mic as of this time, and that's only because I tried pulling in the order for it, and it kind of flopped. So that's the issue that I had over there. So, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna find a new mic, or at least a new website where I can get one. And so, trust me when I tell you that the audio quality is gonna get better. I promise you. But for now, we're just gonna roll with my trusty microphone over here on my laptop, and we'll see what happens, alright? But also, before I begin, again, I just got done with watching the new Nintendo Direct, and I just wanted to give my own thoughts. And I know the channel is supposed to tie into mental health, and the thing that I wanted to tie into this is games. Well, mainly because, number one, I love it. Like, I actually was a gamer before I got into this, and so because of that, I wanted to go ahead and see what the new Nintendo Direct had to offer, and also because I'm a prime Nintendo Direct, on Nintendo Direct, but a Nintendo fan. Like, it was my childhood. Like, literally, I grew up with my Game Boy Advance, and then it went on to become the Nintendo DS, and then the 3DS, and then Switch. I glanced over Wii U, even though I know that the console was pretty okay, but I just took a glance and then I went ahead straight to the Switch, and I still have it to this day, and it's why I wanted to take a look and see what they had to offer, because I saw the new Nintendo Direct, and I thought that, you know, I saw the previous one as well, and I know that there was a lot of potential, so I had high hopes for this one. But then I saw what I just let me just go ahead and show you guys real quick. And yes, as well, I'm on incognito mode, guys. So whatever's gonna be shown here is gonna be kind of private. So again, you won't be able to see everything. So I love maintaining my privacy. I'm just that kind of person. So here we got the new Nintendo Direct. Like I said, it just finished streaming about half hour ago, and my thoughts of it was kind of you know, again, it's Nintendo. What are we gonna do? But then again. I did have high hopes for it. I just didn't know what to really expect from it. But let me just show you guys real quick, right? I'm gonna just show you. I'm not gonna play some of the footage because I think many of you guys have already seen it. And again, this is not to be critical of Nintendo or anything. Like I said, I love what they've done with their games. I love what they've done with their progress that they made over the past decades. And so, but again, this is just my heartfelt opinion about each of the titles. And again, say what you want to say and feel what you want to feel, but then again, it's just my own opinion, so call me out of anything. But again, it's not to chastise or hurt Nintendo in any way. Again, they are an amazing company with what they do. It's just that, again, it's like a Nintendo Direct. You ever feel like you're ever bipolar with it or anything like that? It's like, when you watch a new Nintendo Direct, it's like, oh my gosh, you got the games that you want, but then on the other hand, you got these games that are like, you didn't expect that they would be over there, right? And again, it's because they have a very creative and talented group, and again, they do what they do best, and they try to make things that are worthwhile for us. But then again, like I said, some of them are awesome and some of them flop, and what are we gonna do about that, right? So again, I'm just gonna go over like a brief overview of what went down over here. I'm not gonna play too much of the footage just because I don't know how it's gonna resound on the mic. And until I get that mic straightened away, I'm just gonna show you some clips and what I feel with each of the games. So again, it's just like a short review of it. And again, you guys can take a look over here at the chat on the right. Again, it plays prime time on what's been happening over there. And again, many people had a lot of high hopes. But again, like I said with a Nintendo Direct, it can be kind of bipolar. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know what you're gonna expect. And again, it is what it is, right? Before I begin, hold on. Let me just get something straight away. Hold on. Just see if the mic is actually working. Because last time I live streamed, I almost flopped it, and I just gotta make sure that this is actually working. Again, it's a live stream, so again, I have no regrets with whatever I'm saying over here. But I just need to make sure that it's actually working. Hold on. Let me just take a look real quick. Just need to make sure that it's actually. Okay, that is actually working. All right. So sorry guys, it might bounce off because I didn't know it was playing over here on TV. So I do apologize for that. So let me just go ahead and turn that off. Real quick. Okay, there we go. Right, let me just turn that off. All right, so let me just go ahead and get into it. Again, it's just my own opinion. Let me just see how it goes. So again, premiered at 7 a.m. over there in Japan, and so looking at the footage. Hold on, real quick. So let me just go ahead and mute that just because of that. I don't want it to bounce off in the mic again. So hold on. I don't know why it's not playing. I know it was only 40 minutes. Hold on. It's trying to play. At least to the extent that I can see. Hold on. Okay, it's finally loading. So again, there we go. Alright, so hold on. Let me just take a look. Well, first off, we started off with the new Scarlet and Violet DLCs, and again, again, apart from the lag and apart from the graphics and apart from the glitches, of course, they were meme-worthy, and I make memes, and so, apart from that, it was a very resounding and wonderful game in terms of story-wise, and, just because, again, with everything and all the glitches, if you really throw that away, and if they had fixed that, again, give or take maybe a couple months or so, it would have been one of the best games to have been on the Switch in terms of the Pokemon franchise. But again, it's a wonderful game nonetheless, and with the characters and the development and the story, oh my gosh, it's so good. And with the DLC, it looks like it has high hopes. Again, we have 2 DLCs coming up. Let me just show some footage of that. Again, we're still here in the Paldea region, and so now we found out that the region on the top right is actually going to be connected very much so. It's a separate village, a separate rural area in supposed to be mainland Spain. And so that area is catered to a village that's separate and they have their own community, most likely Japanese, just because of the way it looks and the story-wise and all of that. So again, with the teal mask, again, it looks to be like I don't want to say resounding, but it looks to be like a DLC to really look forward to. Again, the designs, I love the kimonos that they garnered on, and I admire how they maintain the theme. And although we don't necessarily get to see Japan in all its glory, again, they are trying to. I hope they can find a way to connect it. I hope it does connect with the region because, again, it is Spain, but then you have, for example, rural Spain, but then it's Japanese theme. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll see how it goes. But then you also have the other DLC, which is the Indigo Disc, and again, I love the characters and I love the set design and everything. So again, you have the main characters. I forgot her name. What was it? Hold on, Carmine. There, Carmine, and then you have also what was his name? Kieran, I think, the guy. So again, those two look to be stellar characters in terms of hopefully in story wise they're gonna be amazing. But then we have the Indigo Disc and I mean the Indigo. Is it the Indigo Disc? Yeah, the Indigo Disc there. First off, futuristic setting. I'm curious to see how that's gonna go because it seems as though this is actually gonna be a trip. Now they're actually going off Paldea and into another region. It's kind of like the Aether Foundation in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but again, it's kind of like that where it's an underwater lab. But we'll see how it goes because if the story is going to take place completely within the lab, it's got to be huge. So again, the sanctuary, this lab, whatever they want to call it, again, I'm looking forward to how it's gonna go. And what about the legendaries and whatnot? Again, they look stellar. I'm curious to see. Of course, you have the Galapagos turtle, and then you have that. I don't want to say voodoo, but it's basically I think it's like an entity, so to speak. I don't know what it really is, but again, I admire how it really looks and the designs. But we'll just hope for the best and see how that goes. All right. So again, that was one of the main highlights. And then when we came down to Sonic, again, many Sonic fans look like they're gonna. It looks like it's gonna be a blast for them. Again, I don't know. I haven't played Sonic as much, so again, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do know some of the main characters. But I do know that this looks nice in terms of the main Sonic format. And again, they're throwing their little twist, and of course the graphics look amazing. They look good, but we'll just hope for the best, and we'll see how it goes there. Then I'm not gonna stay too long on the direct because again, you guys all watched it, and you guys are just trying to process what's been going on. Persona 5, I know that is coming out again. It's coming out in November, I think. Again, forgive me if I'm trying to recall everything. So again, I know that's coming up. We got a lot of indie games coming up. I know the Splatoon has their Splatfest coming up, so again, I hope you guys are looking forward to that. If anything, hold on, let me just make sure that it actually is still live. So, um, okay, there we go. Yeah, so again, I hope you guys look forward to that as well with the DLCs. Looks to be there's still some work there. Detective Pikachu. That looks pretty interesting. Again, again, don't call me out here. I'm really curious is how this is gonna go. I don't know who the voice cast is. It's not to criticize them or anything, but again, it's very interesting. I mean, I know that they did a film, and of course, that was endorsed by the Pokemon Company. But again, that was a very stellar success. They had a really good cast. Ryan Reynolds played the part perfectly. And what with CGI and what with the characters and the creatures coming into life. Again, those are just something that's stellar. But again, I'm curious to see how this goes. And again, I don't want to criticize out of fear of anything from Nintendo, but I'm just saying that of course, there's a bit of skepticism with what's happening over here, especially, how the story's gonna go. I haven't seen what's gonna happen, but again, it is what it is. I just know that this game might throw a little bit of reactions. There might be some reactions. I don't know how that's gonna be. Again, you guys can tell from the comments on the right, like everyone's like, "What the hell is happening?" Right? So, also Mario fans, I know that there's a bunch of games coming out centered on Mario with their new RPG, and so does Peach, and then Luigi again, a remastered version of Luigi's Mansion. Again, I haven't played any of those games, so I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. I'm just gonna breeze through it. So again, because you guys can go watch it for yourself because it's just a person's opinion, right? So again, it is what it is. Let me just take a look over here and see what else we got. Again, there's Luigi's Mansion. I really am afraid. I'm afraid of what they might do if I play any of the footage. I even muted the mic just because. Batman. Again, I saw that. I'm curious to see how that will go as well. First off, graphics look pretty good in terms of like it's Batman, right? You got the theme, the aesthetic, cast sounds good, but again, I'm curious to see how that's gonna go, and how it will completely translate toward the Nintendo Switch. Because again, it seems as though much of it still needs to be developed. You can even tell just from the motions that there's still work to be done on this game. So, but again, it looks pretty good, and I like the theme, I like the setting, and the aesthetic of it looks nice. It looks nice. So again, I have high hopes for this one. And again, it's not even the mainline game. It's literally one that Nintendo develops and another company develops alongside them. So again, I'm curious. I'm getting curious. This one, forgive me, I'm gonna skip over that because I'm not as familiar. I know Just Dance 2024 is coming out. Again, I hold a very what do you call that? I hold a very special place in my heart for Just Dance just because I grew up, and when your PE teacher just doesn't, they just don't, for example, they don't want to teach or they don't want to do something at that moment, they go ahead and pull up Just Dance and like, hey, dance to this, and that's your class. And many times, literally they've done that, and I don't know, but again, it's pretty good. So, Just Dance was pretty good, and again, they have these wonderful and skilled choreographers to be able to handle and do those motions. And again, it's surprising because again, it's just a very simple premise, but the game, again, there's a lot of styles and a lot of songs going on. So again, I'm looking forward to see what that has in store. Just skip over. So again, we just talked about that. This new RPG, I don't know how I feel in terms of like they're not talking, but again, sometimes actions speak louder than words, and so I'm curious to see what happens there. Again, I'm going to gloss over the things that I'm not sure of because I don't want to criticize something that I don't know. I instead will go ahead and say what I feel like I know, if that makes sense of any kind. But again, it is what it is. And let me just take a look. Pikmin, of course, was supposed to be the main highlight. First off, I love this not throw off. Throwback to the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. Again, this was my console. Like, this was my console. I literally had that everywhere I went, and I'm still surprised that it only had 2 buttons. Like it had two buttons on the right, and I was about to say dash pad. The D-pad on the left. I was really surprised to think that I was limited to those, and now I have the Nintendo Switch, and many of us have as well. So again, this was just a throwback, and I still love how they put that back in, because again, it is an awesome console for the time, and many people are coming back to it. Many people are getting into the retro vibe, and it is what it is. But again, I'm looking forward to seeing the trends come back, and just to see the nostalgia again. This console is one of a kind, and it changed many things about Nintendo. It's what made it a success, I feel, in my opinion, alongside the Game Boy Advance, and of course the SNES. But again, nice little Easter egg, because it was really good. I can tell definitely just from the look of it, like literally they were hoping to highlight Pikmin as their main showcase here, because when you have the Nintendo Direct in the middle, it's kind of like you want to start off the year with a bang, and then all of a sudden you get this, right? So again, definitely for sure their main highlight was Pikmin, and that's what they were trying to go for. And again, that's totally cool, because again, that was their highlight, and they did mention that like literally in their description. Like they literally put here 40 minutes of information, including details on the new Pikmin 4. So that's definitely the thing that they wanted to highlight through the showcase. Because again, we got Tears of the Kingdom already released. We got the DLCs, but they're way in December. So December, fall and December. So fall and winter. So again, you don't know what to expect from here on out, because it's not fully fleshed. But again, they did give us a fair warning about what's the intended highlight for this direct. So again, like I said, it brings out the bipolar in all of us. So I'm really, forgive me, but again, Pikmin is definitely this was gonna highlight, and it looks so cute. First off, love the dog, and the Pikmins are amazing. I love the physics, and I love the new style of, instead of being an overworld, you actually go down to the level. I was about to say Othmar, sorry, but you actually get down to their level, and so again, still really cool. And I love that they got to showcase some gameplay footage, and it appears as though again this is what we're gonna roll with. And again, see, looking at the new styles, it's still wonderful, and it's playful, and it's enjoyable. And again, I can't wait for many of the Pikmin followers and lovers out there to enjoy it, because again, it's been a while since you've seen a Pikmin game. So again, look forward to that, because it looks really nice. Let me just go ahead again. Love that throwback over there. Let me just take a look and see what else we got over here. I know Metal Gear Solid 3 was announced. Again, that's something Snake will always be in my heart, but I never got to actually play many of the mainline games. So again, I don't want to say anything out of fear of hurting the fan base. But again, I know that you guys are gonna have a fun time. We literally had not Metroid. Sorry, that was a different thing. Sorry. But again, Metal Gear Solid looks to be a game that's gonna be awesome. Metal Gear Solid 3. We all know that was gonna come out, and I don't know what else to say. And Metal Gear Solid 2. Again, this Master Collection looks to be a showstopper. And again, for anyone who loves Metal Gear Solid, again, look forward to it, because I know that they put their heart into these remakes, right? And before I actually want to go into their actual website, and just to showcase to you guys what was actually announced. Because again, I know that they announced a lot of things. Some are okay, some are meh. But again, to each his own. You guys have your own opinions about that, and I just don't want to spout off any hate or anything. But again, let me just go ahead and showcase what they've got for us so far this time of the year. So again, they showcase Pokemon Scarlet, was right over here. Sonic Superstars, again, to each his own. Palia, I know that was also something, it's just like a simple, kind of like, you think of it like The Sims, but like in the past, and also more of an overworld-based type of game. Just more of a chill zone for anyone who wants to make a community. And that's awesome, Again, not every game has to be action-based or anything like that. Literally, games can just be, for the fun of it. And again, at least they threw in this option for people who want just a chill session and just the chill vibes, right? And then you got Persona 5. Again, that looks... Love the art style. Literally, I never played Persona anything in the Persona series, but I do know some friends who do. And so the style of it looks good. Again, they kept the theme, and I admire as well the graphics. Stellar, it reminds me of like literally like Spider-Man. If I'm thinking about it, like if I'm thinking of a graphic overhaul, I think literally of Spider-Man like across the Spider-Verse and whatnot. Myth Force, haven't really got into that, but again, to each his own. Splatoon, again, look forward to the new Splatfest. Detective Pikachu, again, I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. Again, it still looks like it's in the works. It still needs to be polished. And again, because, like, literally look at the thumbnail. Like, if I were to literally zoom into the thumbnail, like, right now. Hold on, because, I'm afraid that OBS might crash. So, literally going back to that. Like, look at this, right? So, first off, look at the thumbnail real quick, and tell me that you think that it looks like that in the trailer, because it didn't look like that at first. Because this is the thing that looks like we're gonna be expecting. Like this right here in the thumbnail is the main product, and that's the one that's supposed to be showcased. But again, it's because it's still in development. We have yet to see. Because literally, when I was looking at the graphics, not saying I was disappointed, but again, I felt as though there could have been a major overhaul with them. I know that there would have been more, but again, this is just showcasing in progress projects. So again, don't call them out for that. Hopefully, I don't know, but hopefully we'll see how that goes, right? And then Super Mario RPG again, you know, it looks to be a unique game. Again, they said they've done this like one of a kind, chibi style, but we'll see how that goes. If it's an RPG, I don't know, because it reminds me of I forgot that game, but I think it might evoke some nostalgia in some of us, right? So I feel as though that's the thing. Batman, again, graphic style, if they polished it up a little bit and they continue to develop it, because I know it's still a work in progress, but it looks to be one of the highlights. It's one of the highlights it looks like for this Nintendo, just because of how unique it is. And again, if it's going to be on a Nintendo Switch, I'm curious to see how the graphics hold up, how the GPU and the CPU of the Switch holds up with regards to the game, because I don't know, but then Gloomhaven, again, not so much knowledgeable about that, but to each his own. Just Dance 2024, again, evokes a lot of nostalgia in me. It opens my heart because I still have Just Dance to this day, and it's still wonderful. It's still a wonderful exercise regimen, honestly. Silent Hope, again, silent but deadly, so we'll see how that goes. Mayfarm, I almost thought that was Fantasy Life, but again, looks to be another chill game. Manic Mechanics, Mario, the DLC for Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Again, curious to see how that goes, but again, for any Mario fans out there, it seems as though there's a lot of games catered to that at the moment. So again, we'll see how that goes. All right. Dragon Quest, again, that's your own deal. Pikmin was the highlight, and so they put a lot of footage and a lot of time into showcasing it. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to go, but I know it's going to be a massive success. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. Metal Gear Solid, of course, we all know that collection was coming. And then you guys can see just this wave of, literally this wave of Mario games and other indie developers. But again, to each his own. Again, whatever it is you feel, all I do know is that there is gonna be major changes. Like, literally look at Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Definitely the art style looks a lot different. Of course, you have the typical gameplay and you have the typical puzzle setting and whatnot to be able to navigate the land. But again, just looking at it, it looks like a mix of Super Mario Bros. And like Mario and Luigi Dream Team. That's my comparison, because I feel as though like just the way the dreamlike state and just the fantasy of it all, it looks to be that's gonna be that type of game. Just a mix of both. Of course, with Super Mario Bros. Theme, that form of style, but with a little bit of twists connecting to the Dream Realm. So I'm gonna see how that goes. But this one, I just wanted to open that real quick, just because this I feel was also something else that I love, was the new Mario Kart 8 booster course, because number one, who doesn't love Mario Kart? And number two, because I love their tracks. And I know, and here's the thing I noticed as well, many people can be divided because the tracks can look just a little, or and even race just a little bit hard. Like I don't know what it is about the tracks, but there's some that were really good and they really got the you got the vibe and the feel for the city. But some were just like, you get those turns and you get those positions there where you're surprised as to how did they come to that decision. I remember there's this track in the original tracks from Mario Kart 8. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I know that it's a city, and the turns were just so difficult. And what was surprising is that they put it on 200cc, and you can. That track is impossible to race on. You guys know what I'm talking about. City lights, and you know what I'm talking about, right? So again, that track is just somewhat unbefitting for racing in terms of like that speed. But so I'm hoping that they really thought about it with these new tracks. And let me just showcase that to you guys real quick. Again, out of fear of copyright, again, we're just gonna see how that goes. So literally looking at that, this one looks to be a good one. First off, it's literally in a bathroom, so that is a wonderful setting, and I love the creativity. I love the artistry, and it looks cute. I mean, come on, look at that. Wiggler, of course, looks to be an amazing character as well. Kamek, and you have all these wonderful characters that they're introducing. Cause that hasn't happened in how long? Besides, of course, Birdo. Besides Birdo, like literally, it's been so long since we have new characters, and again, I just love the feel and the vibe for that. But I do know this is one of the things I'm also looking forward to, and I'm curious. I forgot what the date was. It's in summer 2023, so wave 5. So literally, there's a new wave of courses coming over, and I'm surprised that I thought they pushed it back to fall, but apparently Wave 5 is coming earlier because I think they just got used to being able to make these maps. And it seems as though, like, again, they already got the 5 in the formula for it, so again, there's just that. But literally, in terms of this Nintendo Direct, there were some highlights, but there were some ups and but there also were some downs. Again, I bet many of us were expecting more, in terms of like what Nintendo was gonna show, but before anyone gets into like the oh I'm vouching for them or whatnot, I mean we gotta really like think about it. First off, it's in the middle of the year. Like I know that summer is supposed to be the highlights, but also it's supposed to be like the time where if you're in school, you go on a rest, right? The same thing goes for what's happening over in Nintendo, right? Because the games usually they take some time to develop, and you know how Nintendo doesn't necessarily want to rush a game. And if ever a game has some glitches, again, there's usually a parent company that usually is the one who oversees that, and so a lot of the development goes a little wrong just because of that. Like take for example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, right? Wonderful games, but again, the launch was just difficult in terms of like comprehending. It was kind of like Fallout 76 in a way, where there was so many glitches at some point that people can make compilations of them, right? But again, Nintendo, of course, was assisting with converting it to their software. But of course, there was another company that was producing and highlighting just the things that are needed to make sure that the game is running on Nintendo software, right? So again, that's where the dichotomy lay, where that's where the problems lay, where you have the developers, multiple developers, and again, it can throw the games off the rails, right? So that's usually the case. But again, what with this direct, again, some people were okay with it, some were a little bit disappointed. And that's only because I feel as though, like I said, it's in the middle and we got past some of the main highlights. Like literally we got Tears of the Kingdom, which was the biggest highlight of, I feel, for Nintendo for the whole year. And so, again, to each his own. That was their highlight and a bunch of other things. So that's why, if anyone probably noticed why they're highlighting Pikmin 4, is because, again, many people feel nostalgia for Pikmin, and many people wanted to see more out of it. And that's literally the main game out of all that's really, truly highlighted, besides some other personal ones of mine. But again, literally when you're looking at it, Pikmin was the highlight, apart from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Mario Kart Deluxe. Again, you can literally look at the views and tell me which ones were the highlights. Pikmin, of course, was over here. Batman, of course, this looks amazing. Tech Pikachu, many people, again, because of the memes and whatnot. Literally, all those things. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But again, to each his own. Whatever it is that you feel about them, again, we just got past some of the major highlights of the year, and so this is the time where it's kind of tame. I know when the next Nintendo Direct comes in the fall and in the winter. Again, I definitely feel like we're gonna see a lot more. We are going to see a lot more, not only from Nintendo but also from their partners. Say, for example, Level 5. I mean, I know that they're bringing back Ghost Trick. I know they're bringing back Professor Layton, which are some of my most nostalgic games of all time. They literally carried my childhood when at my best and at my worst. And those games I was hoping to see here, but they didn't because there's just so much that was going to be in store. And I know there's a lot. I know there's major overhauls for them because those games have not been seen in years. So I was really looking forward to that, but they didn't showcase it in this showcase. That's completely fine because again, with Nintendo, they need time and they don't want to show off an awful product. And again, say what you want to say about it, but I feel as though again we're gonna see more from them in the fall and the winter. And literally that's all I can say from that. Apart from again in terms of what went on in this one, so much more seems to be in store. And again, we have yet to see the full aspect of what Nintendo was really going to showcase. But again, they just want to keep you guys updated because it is what it is, right? But again, snooze fest, woo fest, whatever you may feel. Again, Nintendo does have that heart still for their games, and it seems as though they're still trying to do so. But again, we have our own opinions about it, and whatever it is that we feel, so long as we don't do anything to like mess that up or anything, right? But anyway, so again, what up, Carl? Definitely, yeah, stopping by. Yeah, I know that. Sorry, I just noticed the message, and I do apologize if any of you guys were on. Because I literally have to like cycle between OBS, and I have to cycle between seeing this. So again, I can't always see the chat, so I do apologize for that. So again, let me just take a look to see if anyone was really on. So yes, so again, guys, I do apologize for that. But apart from that, hold on, let me just send this message real quick. Hold on, let me just type that first. Hold on. Things. I gotta work around this program because I know that there was probably the rendering time. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. Apart from, I just want to explain why I wanted to do this and why, for example, the videos can be random at times. Well, that's only because of the fact that, like I said, games were my life. They carried me over, even at the times when life for me was at my hardest. But again, if anything else can help with mental health, it literally can be this. Games are life, and games have that potential, that creativity, that nostalgia, and we grew up with them. And regardless if you're a gamer or not, again, you don't have to be a gamer. You can literally just be someone who sees it as a passerby and think, hey, this looks nice, and it evokes something out of you, something that you haven't felt in a while. Which in this case were these showcases. I love seeing video game showcases in my spare time, apart from podcasting and whatnot, and making memes and all that stuff. But again, to each his own, and I do love, again, I do see the potential in what Nintendo's doing. There's definitely going to be more on the horizon. I can't wait for fall and winter. Whatever it is that you feel about this one, I know that not everyone may be pleased, but again, it may not be the best to just leave it at that, right? Maybe keep an open mind. You never know, right? So again, luckily, I also wanted to test out OBS again to see if the program is actually working to its best. But apart from the mic, which I promise you guys I'm going to get that soon, I just had a major error with the ordering process. I don't know what happened. But again, I'll see how that goes. But again, I will promise I'll get you that, I swear. And I'll test it out, see how it goes, and let me know what you feel if you guys ever happen to stop by during the live stream. Let me know how you feel and let me know how it sounds, alright? Because it's up to you guys on your end just to see, because I might use that for future podcasts, future memes. I never know, alright? But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. Again, you guys have been awesome. And I know it is actually lunchtime. I just wanted to get this live stream out there just because, again, even though you guys were busy today, and I know it's a school day and whatever for some of you guys. Some of you guys are at work, so that's completely fine. I just wanted to give my own thoughts and opinions because, again, this was just most recent, and I don't know what you guys feel, but again, literally, Nintendo, I hope that there's more on the horizon, and I just hope that, again, this may not be the end of it, because it looks as though this Nintendo Direct, albeit it premiered, it's left unfinished. I think there was more that was intended to be showcased, but we'll see that in the months to come, right? But that's gonna be it for this live stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'll keep you posted on how I'm updating the equipment one step at a time. Please like, share, sub, and much love. You guys have been awesome. And also thank you guys for whoever has stopped by. You guys have been amazing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you at the next live stream or the podcast or the meme, whatever it is that I'm gonna post, right? Peace out, and see you next time.